Watch it on
NBC Sport. Amazing. Tables.
Table talk. Dark horse.
Ooh.
Hey, welcome to the Hans and Scott Global Sports Show.
What?
Yeah, maybe you're thinking, didn't you just say global sports show? No, I said glocal. Glocalization of sports.
Yeah, we know what we said.
Yep. Because the fact is, in our society, we're able to see global sports from the comfort of our own living rooms.
All over the world.
And I love it.
It's
great.
amazing.
Yep. Maybe you're wondering, if you never watched us before, what credentials do they have? We have no credentials at all.
Zero. None.
No.
Nada. Zilch. We are just two dudes who like sports.
So true. We are just great fans, and we just love to talk about it. So if you're like, man, they're terrible, I totally disagree. You're
probably right.
You're probably right. And so we're definitely just here talking about sports. So globalization, global sports, national sports, all those are going to be hopefully kicking off in July, and we can enjoy those. But we're also down to the local level. Hopefully all the high school and college athletes can kick up to sports again back in the fall.
Yep. We can do some football, some volleyball, soccer.
Yep.
All
the sports that are played around the fall in the Midwest and Wisconsin. And so we are going to jump over to a global league. So we're going to go a little global sports.
The mother load of leagues.
Yes. So we already did a video about the Bundesliga. If you didn't get a chance to watch that. But now we're going to jump over to a great league, the top league, they say, of soccer, of football, what it's called around the world, the Premier League. Over across the pond, the United Kingdom, the EPL, as they call it, the Premier League.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. They just crowned champions.
Man, they did it.
Liverpool, they won. Thanks to Frank Lampard and his Chelsea team.
Oh, Pulisic. Thank you, my brother.
The American Stallion.
Oh, I love that dude.
Not the Italian Stallion, the American Stallion.
Pulisic.
You're the man.
Thank you, brother.
We appreciate it.
Oh.
We've been waiting 30 years.
30 years. So we're going to talk about the table that is set. So at the top of the table, we're doing a little table talk.
We're talking about tables.
Table talk. So if you ever played a card game, table talk is frowned upon. All right. So if you play a card game, one of my favorite plays is euchre. If you tell your partner, you're like, hey, you should probably pick it up because it'd probably be a good idea. That's called table talk, and it's frowned upon. This kind of table talking is not frowned upon. We're going to talk about where people rank on the standings, the table. As they
Rankings.
call it. Rankings.
Top to bottom.
So first off, we're going to talk about the team right now with 86 points, as Scott just said, locked it up.
86.
86.
With 7 games left.
7 games left. So we'll try not to be super biased on this show.
But I am. It's just a fact.
But we definitely, when our team does good, as any fan should, they should enjoy it. Enjoy it when your team wins. Toronto should still be excited about winning the NBA Finals. Even, they should still be excited. You shouldn't have to be ashamed of it.
I've been waiting 27 years. Long years for this.
Yeah, so
I'm going to enjoy it.
I've waited 10 years as an avid Liverpool fan.
I was not a Liverpool fan when I was 2 or 3. So I wouldn't say 27, but I'm just going to go because the dramatics.
But the diehards over in Liverpool have waited 30 years, 3 decades for it. I've waited 1 decade. So just to give you a little breakdown of how many other teams have won the Premier League since Liverpool last won. We're going to throw this down. A record, the team that has won it the most since Liverpool last won, Man U. Congrats, Man U had a great stretch, great run. 13 times. 13 times they've won since Liverpool last won.
The Patriots of the Premier League.
Yeah. So
that dynasty.
Yeah, Man U 13 times. The next team that has won it the most since Liverpool last won, Chelsea with 5. Chelsea, the brothers that just helped us clinch it up
We appreciate it.
Still appreciated. So the guys in blue, great team. They've won it 5 since. 2 teams have won it 4 times. Arsenal had a great stretch with Thierry Henry and the boys.
Invincibles, what a great team.
They had some good runs there. Man City, they've been the toughest team that Liverpool's had to go against the past couple of years. Man City has had a good stretch the past handful of years with winning 4 also.
You really love to hate them, don't you?
Oh, man. I love their jerseys so much.
They are nice.
Man City, still love Raheem Sterling. Love that guy. So
Mighty
fast.
Mouse.
Mighty Mouse, so good.
Feel free to come back if you want. We'll take you.
Yeah. Raheem. And then there's 3 teams that have won it once since Liverpool won. Way back in the day, Leeds won it, and Blackburn, 2 teams that are right now in the Championship League, the second tier of the English football. And then probably one of the greatest
stories.
Oh, man.
Just an unbelievable run.
Leicester City, the year that they won, their odds of winning were just astronomical. And so if anybody bet on that, man, you're good for life. But I still hope they make a movie of that. They should still make a movie of that.
That'd be a great documentary.
I would love to watch
Really
that
would.
just from top to bottom, Leicester City's run, because that year was just phenomenal what they did. So that's the table. At the beginning, at the top, we just talked about the title. So Liverpool can get a record points if they get, in the next, if they get 5 more wins, I think they lock it up, right?
Yeah, there's the record's 100 points. So 101 to beat it. They have 7 games left. It's possible.
It's possible. It'll be interesting to see how they run their team now that they've already locked it up. I know they're enjoying themselves right now watching those videos. Man, if there's somebody that you like to just laugh at, man, I love watching
Andrew Robertson.
Andy Robertson, Robo. The way
guy.
he tweets, man, I've been laughing over here. So, Robo, I appreciate it. And I know you're probably not watching this because it's, nobody knows us because this is like our second video. So
we're not famous.
Robo, Arnold, the bro friends.
Friends.
Man, they're always trying to get Virgil part of their group, and love how they interact.
It's a good time.
Good camaraderie by those boys.
I feel like I would be good friends with them.
Oh, man. So maybe someday down the road, dreams would come true, and we would have one of those dudes on the show. Any one of them. Anybody from the Premier League, if we ever have them on the show.
We could FaceTime. I'm totally okay with
I'm probably going to soil my pants.
I don't know if I'm going to go that far. I might pass. I'll leave that up to you.
Oh, man. But also we got to talk about not just Liverpool. We'll do justice to all the other
I guess.
So Man City's in second place. They're already going to lock up a top 4 spot. Man City, quality team. They brought it last year. Were the champs last year. Man City's still going to be locked up there. So
unfortunately, they are not eligible to be in the Champions League.
Yep. So if you've never watched any European soccer, there's a special tournament called the Champions League tournament that happens every year. So you qualify for that tournament by your standings in your different groups in Europe from the year before. So Man City has been banned from that for 2 years, I believe. And so that's why we're going to talk about the rest of the table. So Leicester City and Chelsea looks like they're probably going to lock up their spots. They have 7 games left. So unless they all of a sudden tank and lose a lot of games and let somebody else sneak up there, they should lock that up. And so that leaves one more spot, right, Scott?
Yeah, one more. I'm guessing it'll probably be a good fight between Wolverhampton and Tottenham. I know Harry Kane's back from injury. He had surgery in January, so now he's going to be back and ready to roll. I'm sure he's
Harry
itching to get
Kane
out there. Good old Harry Kane.
Oh, good Harry Kane.
But it should be interesting to see what all happens, and who does what, and who plays how. But it should be an exciting last 7 games of the season. See who gets that 4th spot.
Yeah. So I've been super proud with Sheffield United. Just got brought up into the Premier League, and they just had a couple. Coming back from all the months off, they've had a couple bad games, but they were putting themselves in contention, so nothing to be ashamed of there. And then Arsenal, they're within shooting distance, but Scott's not thinking they're going to have a chance to make
We're
it.
just going to let David Luiz play defense. Is that too soon? Too soon? Awkward?
If my buddy George is watching, I'm sorry, bro.
It's all right. It's all right, George.
Sorry to your Gunners. Your Gunners, they got Aubameyang. You got Aubameyang, so you got some young talents there. So hopefully
shot themselves in the foot, George.
Oh
boy.
So I think out of these three teams, Scott, Man U and Wolverhampton and Tottenham, which one of those do you think will lock up that last Champions League spot?
I would probably go with Man United. As much as I don't want to, I would really like to see Wolverhampton do it. They have almost like a Leicester City vibe from when they won. Not a huge ton of famous names, not a bunch of big superstars, and they just work well together and play well together. So I'd like to see them do that, but I got a feeling it's going to be Man United.
Yeah, same thing with me. I always like watching Wolverhampton and Tottenham play. Like both of those teams, and but Man U's got some young firepower, especially when you see Martial. He just had a hat trick recently, so and Rashford. So looks like those boys, Daniel James, new young talent. Looks like they're gonna probably make a run and probably lock up that last spot. But maybe in a couple weeks we'll talk about this, and we're totally off base. When we get close to the end, we'll talk about it more.
Which is possible because we have no experience.
Like we said, we're just avid fans. So that's the top of the table. So that's why we're talking about that, because that Champions League. But we're also going to talk about the bottom of the table. Why would we talk about the bottom of the table, Scott?
Bottom of the table. It's the worst place to be. Bottom three teams get relegated, which means they go down to the Championship League, which is a step below.
Yep.
Not fun. Not fun at all.
Yeah. So if you've never watched English soccer, the idea is there's the top league, the Premier League that we're talking about right now. Then there's the Championship League just below it. Then after that, it's called League One, League Two. Teams, if they finish at the top of their league, can work their way up. So you could have a team in League One have 2 good years back to back and move themselves up to
into the Premier League. Talking money, talking big time sponsorships.
Sponsorships, you can get more money. You can get better contracts to better players and stuff like that. So each season's important. Making sure you don't get relegated. So in some of our sports in America, sometimes teams are like, hey, we're already pretty bad. Let's tank it. Let's tank it. Tank it.
Then we get good draft picks.
Then you get a great draft pick, right? You get the worst record, you get a great draft pick, and maybe it works out that way.
Not the British.
Yeah, you don't want to do that over in the Premier League. You don't want to tank.
They kick you when you're down.
Yeah, so you ain't getting no draft pick, and you're losing money, and you get dropped down and all that stuff. So we're going to talk about the bottom of the table. So the bottom 3 get relegated every season. So we have 7 games left. The bottom 3 with the least score. That's probably not grammatically correct. So they get relegated. So it looks like Norwich City is probably
locking up number 1 seed
of the relegation.
Yeah.
And so then
we've got a good 4-way tie for who wants to join.
Yeah. It's going to be close. So we have Jay Demerit's Watford boys. Jay Demerit.
If you've never seen that documentary, I recommend you to watch.
Rise and shine.
He's a American boy through and through, and it's a good story of his life and his journey to becoming into the Premier League, and it's quite interesting. And
if you're a Wisconsinite, he's a local lad from Green Bay, so it was cool to watch that documentary. You can probably find it on YouTube. I watched it with my son. It's a great watch. So Watford, they're probably in an okay spot, but not. They could still, the other 3 teams win, and then they're in trouble. So West Ham, my buddy Kyle, his team.
They do like to blow bubbles, I hear, though. They're big bubble fans.
So we'll see what happens there. Bournemouth. They have a great young coach, and last year they were kind of in the middle towards the top, and so it's kind of surprising to see them there. But we'll see if they're able to just get out of the relegation spot. And then Aston Villa, another former college teammate of mine, Eric Newman, loves Aston Villa. Not looking so good. So we'll see what happens. We'll talk about the bottom of the table probably in the next couple weeks as we get closer. Who knows? Maybe there's another team that ends up not doing so well. They find themselves close to the relegation spot. But that's Table Talk with us in this session. We talked about the Premier League. We appreciate you joining us on the Hans and Scott Glocal Sports Show.
Local show.
Very glocal.
Not local, just glocal.
Just very glocal.
Thanks again.
No problem. Have a great week.